The Bharat NCAP has finally kicked off from 1st of October. What does it mean for safety of cars for people like us, perhaps, and an average consumer who looks at the safety ratings before actually wanting to buy a car?
So what it means is, Shweta, pretty clearly when you draw those multiple filters of which car to buy, safety should be up there. Right.
Absolutely.
Is it or is it not? I don't know, because, you know, being a very, very price sensitive market.
Actually, it is. I mean, it's very surprising. This morning I was reading Tata Nexon, which got a 5-star rating from Global NCAP, has crossed 500,000
is also one of the top selling cars.
Absolutely, and one of the top selling cars in its segment.
True, absolutely. But is safety the only reason why people
Maybe
bought it? You don't know, right? Because
right.
It is a well-priced mini SUV, compact SUV. It also comes in an electric version, right? And overall, you see people driving that car. How many of them have looked at the Global NCAP rating? I don't know. But because we are a price-sensitive market,
I mean, we all look at those crash tests, you know, out of curiosity.
I mean, these are great visuals, right? You see this beautiful testing lab, and you have a car coming in high speed, and what happens to it? Will it trouble? Will the airbags inflate? And what's going to really happen? I mean, great visuals. But I think being a price-sensitive market, again, I keep coming back to that. I think first you will look at how much is that car going to cost you? How many seats does it offer? What is your requirement? How much is it going to cost? What is the mileage it's going to give you? Kitna deti hai, I think, has been a maxim for Indians for the longest time. But add to that, now I think this great move by the government, number one, to have compulsory airbags in every car, seat belts being mandated on highways even for the back seats. So overall, there is this ABS being a default option pretty much in every car, the anti-skid braking system. Add to that now the Bharat NCAP, which becomes a global standard equivalent for cars being made in India and being sold in India. I think it's a great measure for people to understand that in the eventuality of a crash, are you likely to survive? And what are your possibilities as compared to any other cars which you want to buy, which are in your consideration set. So I think it does become a feather in the cap, at least for companies which have a good crash test rating. But the only problem with Bharat NCAP, despite it, it's voluntary, right? So I don't think it is mandated, and there isn't a timeline given for this to become mandatory. But I think it is going to be a case in point to note that more and more cars willing to even volunteer their vehicles, their models into this crash testing, and some sort of a rating emerging from there means at least those cars are safe to drive.
Okay.
So if nothing else, if you have two cars in your consideration set, one which has undergone the voluntary testing and has a high star rating, something in excess of about 4 stars or so, should become a preferred option in the same price band, in the same mileage band, in the same number of seats, etc., in the same similar look and feel of the car, as compared to a car which does not undergo a crash testing. So I think if nothing else, it's a nudge. It will act as a pressure, peer pressure for other models of cars which are not undergoing the crash test to make those cars available for crash testing.
It adds some peer pressure. I mean, that's the big hope, of course, because all of this is voluntary, but Bharat NCAP kicks in from 1st of October. Will this happen in India, the crash testing? Crashworthiness?
I believe so, yes, absolutely. I think the crash testing, maybe not immediately, maybe they're using facilities outside, but it doesn't make sense to export models after models of cars just to crash them and get them back. I think there should be some crash testing happening in India.
All right, lovely. So crash testing all set to kickstart for those companies and those automakers who volunteer to do so from 1st of October. The Bharat NCAP has finally kicked in.